Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac from Roby Electric, along with Trent Haston from the Roby family.
Why don't you just go ahead and say with Stephen Donaldson from W.H. Hobbs.
Stephen Donaldson.
And leave me out.
W.H. Hobbs. Are you really concerned that we're going to cut you out of this show?
I am.
Dave McGuire fills in one time, and Trent's getting nervous.
Well, everybody sending me texts and talking about my replacement sounds so well, so great.
I thought he was going to take my spot.
The problem was I was in church and my phone was going off. I felt bad.
Zzz, zzz, zzz,
Yeah.
that sound?
Man.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, how do you like Dust in the Wind as the intro? After you mentioned Old School, if you ever seen the movie Old School, Will Ferrell sings a song.
I don't know if I'm better at movies or music, but I'm a buff at both of them. So
There you go.
I knew that's what he would play. TJ's a connoisseur of all things cool.
So if you've never seen Old School, it's Luke Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Will Ferrell, old movie. I think it's like 2003.
That's it.
Break it. That's right.
I'm an Owen Wilson fan personally.
Okay.
Because everybody says I look like Owen Wilson because my nose is all jacked up.
Owen Wilson has blonde hair, bud.
And it's thinning, so I think me and Owen look like we're similar.
Well, let's get back on track and talk about Mr. Popeye the Sailor over here, Stephen Donaldson, with his. But you were mentioning earlier his giant forearms that he hits a golf ball about 400 yards off the tee.
Well, I mean, I remember, but so I'm estimating, Stephen starts estimating early 2000s. He was real close to our superintendent that tragically passed away in 2003, had been our superintendent for 25 years along those lines. Also started at Roby when he was 17 or 18.
Yep.
And when you started estimating, thinking about it, I mean, you think about this, you probably don't think about this often, but Ken took you under his wing as well and was trying to take me under his wing, us little whippersnappers, and he'd take us out to Monroe Country Club. Remember that?
We'll go out there and play golf with him.
Go under that bridge, and you'd hit the ball a mile. I used to be able to hit the ball then. I don't know what happened to me.
I don't know what happened to me either, but he is a good golfer, and obviously even better knowledge of the plumbing industry and the plumbing business. And Stephen is basically, you run the show at Hobbs Plumbing. I mean, and what we talked about in the last segment too is a little bit of how you started, and you started sort of like Trent with very humble beginnings. Put your head down, you learn the industry, and here you are running a company. I think it's a wonderful lesson for any young people or any parents of young people out there listening right now that this is possible. Stephen's living proof of what can happen. So is Trent. I started in wholesale distribution and then came in a little bit.
Start working in a warehouse, kids.
That's it. So,
Ferguson,
put your head down. Right.
The point is, start working.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got to
and
start.
serve. I mean, Dad used to tell me, we've evolved from this, but we don't socialize with our customers. We serve them. I mean, that was literally what he said. And the point being, if you put your nose down and you work hard and you serve and you don't have your hand out, I mean, we talk about this all the time, good things are going to happen.
That's right.
People are going to catch your eye. I mean, I tell young guys all the time, like, go work and don't ask, just
learn.
serve.
And learn.
Yeah.
And that's the problem in all construction is there's just not a qualified people out there today. So we have to go after the young people and try to do something because it's a dying trade what we have going on right now.
And
we can't find
and you're not
anyone.
replacing plumbing in a house. You're not.
You're not
You got to
replacing
have
electrical.
plumbing.
That's right.
And you're not going to be able to build that in, what do they call those machines they're talking about building houses in?
The 3D printing machines.
3D printing machines. You're not going to be able to fix a toilet with a 3D printing machine. I hadn't figured that one out.
I was hoping to use my app on my phone. Just fix it. Just hit a button.
Well, that's what we want to do, right?
Yeah.
We want to get there.
That's
So
right.
we want
In
them to
time
say,
it may
fix it,
happen.
and then the Roby family shows up.
That's it. And I heard a stat, and this is actually from another electrical contractor was on one of the news stations earlier in the week, and he said for every 3 electricians that retire, only 1 comes into the business.
Comes in. Same with plumbing.
Same with plumbing, same with
That's right.
heating and cooling. I heard another stat where the average licensed plumber in Mecklenburg County was like in 50-something,
Yes,
right?
I think it's 56.
56. So that just tells you that we just don't have the younger generation that's coming through.
What it tells you is, it tells you parents, you're listening. I don't know if your teenage sons or daughters listen. It's daughters. I said daughters. I have 3 of them. Encourage them for their summer job to go be an assistant on a service van. We need that. We will, if an eager child wants to work and honestly get paid peanuts though to learn the trade and earn a little keep, they can get into the system and they can do it over and over.
But it's still it's the same as an education with it because I mean there's guidelines
Yes.
on like to be a plumber, you got to be in the field so many hours. You got to put your time in to become, top pay. I mean, these guys get paid a lot of money these days.
They do.
And their time and effort to be in this business is just paying off for them.
Yeah.
The skill they've learned.
You make a great living.
Yeah.
I mean, a wonderful living being a plumbing, electrical trade, any of the trades.
No, you're right. I mean, and I think, Stephen, you hit the nail on the head. It's not a right now kind of thing. I mean, it's just like going to college takes 4 years. Some people take 6. Some people it takes 3.5. But it takes that time and that commitment to get through to learn whatever you're there to learn. Same thing with the trade. I mean, if you spend 2 or 3 years, I think there's also another study out there that the average plumbing plumber spends 4 years learning the trade, makes more money than the average college graduate.
I believe that now.
No question.
No question. And Trent, you made a good point. I mean, we need females in our industry as well. I mean, I took my daughter over to Hobbs Plumbing to check out the warehouse, and I was teaching her what a Y fitting was and what a T fitting was. And I asked her, I was like, "You think you could be a plumber?" And she was like, "Maybe." Now she's 6, so we got some time.
I did ask her if she liked spiders, and she said no.
Well, that's all right.
She sort of backed out.
We can get her over that quick.
Well, the funny thing is, Stephen, about a month ago, I've told this story. I think I've told it on the show. I'm out there, my middle daughter, Rowan, who's tender and sweet but tough as nails. We're chopping wood, and she's messing around with me. And she says, "Daddy, I can't wait till I can work." I said, "I can't wait until you're on a plumbing van when you're 14. And she goes, "Yeah, really?" Da, da, da. And I said, "Yeah, I would like you to spend the summer on each one of the trade vans." And she tells my wife's really cool and understands, and we've always talked about it. But then Reagan comes to me and goes, "You talking to Rowan about a plumbing van?" I said, "Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?" She said, "Well, why don't she work at Chick-fil-A when she's 14? And I said, "Well, baby, we had a little pact. She's going to be a plumber." So, that's what it's about, though.
Well, there used to be, I remember when I was in the field, and I would go to Ferguson down there, there were a couple women that were mainly commercial plumbers, but they were licensed plumbers that worked in the field. And we do get magazines to the shop in other states, or it seems like there's more. They have a little article in there about women in plumbing that actually are licensed plumbers that run commercial jobs, mainly, like I said.
Wow.
I hadn't seen many of them in the residential side, but there are women out there doing it.
That's wonderful.
I mean, I say this all the time. I think, and I'm trying, if I find a hardworking, and all women are intelligent, hardworking woman that wants to be in the trade or construction industry, I'm going to promote them and push them and give them every opportunity. We do that with anybody that's hardworking and humble, actually. But I really think that there's such an opportunity for females and all forms of diversity in our industry, and we're looking for that every day.
No, we are. Well, Stephen, we've got about a minute and 45 seconds left in this segment. Let's talk about Hobbs again. Let's talk about this service base, right, which can mean a lot of different things. It can mean if you got a drain that's clogged, if you have a water heater that's not functioning properly, a water heater that's leaking, call us right away. Let's talk about the different services that we provide.
Yeah, we offer all services for residential. We have, camera equipment, sewer equipment. We install a lot of tankless water heaters today.
New water lines.
We service tankless water heaters, which a lot of people don't know you need to, and they don't have done. Anything. I mean, we same thing with commercial. We do all the same thing for commercial things too. It's just primarily residential's, our backbone.
So commercial, if you have a flush valve that needs to be changed
valves,
out.
anything, any
automatic
stoppages,
faucet, it's not working.
whatever.
Stoppages, yeah.
We do it all. And like I said, we do have the camera equipment, which helps a lot. I mean, if you have a issue with a stoppage in your sewer, we need a camera to make sure there's not a bigger problem that we need to move forward on.
Or something.
That's right. And you might have to dig the yard up and make it a permanent fix instead of just a temporary thing.
Well, you did do that for one of our friends, and somebody that's been on the show. I think he calls himself customer numero uno.
But you said that was my brother.
Mark Williams. Yeah, your brother's one of them, but Mark Williams from Sporting Gent was one that we actually had to sell. I think your brother was a given that he was going to use the company.
He doesn't pay his bills that well.
But you did. You put in a new water line for Mark, and I know he was real excited about that. And
we're actually covering it today, waiting on the inspector
to
do his thing, and we're going to cover it. And I would imagine water pressure is a lot better today.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, he'll be thrilled about that.
Well, Stephen, welcome to the family. We're
thank you.
so glad and blessed to have W.H. Hobbs now as part of the Roby family of companies since 1920, and so blessed to have you on the team as a leader and a brother. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. You're listening to At Home with Roby. We'll be right back.